Hey YouTube, I'm Jess. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're gonna do some New Year's Eve glam. We're gonna do a little get ready with me. I know a lot of us aren't gonna be doing our makeup like this for New Year's this year, but I still thought it would be fun to do a New Year's inspired look and film it for you guys and yeah, just try to bring in some of the New Year's Eve vibes that we're possibly gonna be missing out on. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do, and let's get started with the video. Feels like it has been so long since I filmed a video like this. I'm actually very excited. I haven't actually filmed like a makeup video in a couple of weeks, so I'm quite looking forward to creating something today. And I am gonna go ahead and start with my eyes. Actually, you know what? Let's start with a little bit of face primer. So this is a new product for me. This is the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. This was so big on YouTube a couple of years ago, like probably like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. Everybody was going crazy over this. I don't usually use face primer. I usually just use my moisturizer as primer, but my mom got me this for a gift. So I'm super stoked to try it out, see how my makeup goes on over top. Feels really nice on the skin. I just used one pump. I do have moisturizer on underneath. Feels nice. My skin feels really smooth. I think foundation will go on really nicely over top of that. It's not silicone-y. Good start. We'll see how the face makeup goes when we get there. But for now, let's move on to the eyes because I want to do sort of a more dramatic eye look. So I want to just make sure that I can clean up underneath if I have to. Here comes the sun. Let me fix that issue. Much better. Let's start with a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna go ahead with my Mercier eye base right here. We want a nice even base to put our eyeshadows on top. And we want them to stay in place until the wee hours of the morning. So primer is important. Okay, so for my eye look today, I'm gonna do something cool toned. I don't know why, but New Year's Eve just screams cool tones to me, just like glitter and silvers and blues. This is the look that I did for New Year's Eve last year, like that I actually wore out on New Year's Eve. I had just gotten my Natasha Denona palette and I was like, I need to use this color. And I loved it. I loved that makeup. I also have another New Year's Eve makeup look on my channel from when I first started putting up videos. I haven't watched that video in years, but I'm gonna link it down below in case anybody wants to watch it. It's also a cool toned New Year's Eve makeup look. It was one of the first videos I ever uploaded to YouTube. I'm gonna start my makeup using a cream base. So this is Jean from Charlotte Tilbury. It's kind of a nice champagne color. And I am finishing it up. It's almost out and it's starting to dry out. So I'm trying to use it as much as possible lately. And I'm gonna wash this from the inner corner to about the center. Next, I'm gonna take this little eyeshadow brush. You can see it's pretty small. It's got that nice little tapered dome on the top. It's really good for getting a defined crease and outer corner. And I'm gonna go in with a mixture of the two grays in this palette right here. This is the Uptown Girl palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna start here on the outer corner and I'm gonna draw a little line up towards the tail of my brow, like so. And then I'm gonna go right back in there and take that through my crease. So I'm only taking that color to about here, and then I'm stopping. And I'm just really softly blending, and when I get to this outer corner, we're really swooshing it out. So next I'm gonna take this single shadow that I have from Nars. I love this color. This is in the color Dione, D-I-O-N-E. It's one of their dual intensity shadows, which means you can use it wet or dry. I've never really had much success using it wet, so I'm gonna go in with it dry. Let's take this all over the lid. We're gonna go from the outer corner towards the center. And I'm patting that on so that I get the most pigmentation out of it. And I'm bringing that right into the inner corner. Next up, I'm gonna take the Pop shade in the Charlotte Tilbury Uptown Girl palette just on my finger here. And I'm gonna go with that really pretty glitter from the inner corner all the way across, basically just right on top of that Nars shadow. And this is gonna add a really beautiful reflect, lots of glimmer and shimmer, perfect for New Year's Eve. And then back into the Uptown Girl palette with a little bit of a fluffier blender brush. I'm just gonna take the darkest shade, the smoke shade, and I'm gonna really lightly go on this outer corner here and just kind of fill in this space. And take a little cotton pad here with some micellar water. Just clean up a little bit under my eye. It's so sad because I put on eye cream under there and then I feel like I just wipe it away, but we want everything to look nice and fresh. And then I want to be pretty precise as I clean up the outer edge. So instead of using the cotton pad, like usually I'll just take the cotton pad and kind of clean it up that way, but I just want a little bit more precision today. So I'm gonna just take a Q-tip, get a little bit of micellar water on there, and just use that to clean up this edge here. Make it nice and sharp. Okay, so let's go ahead with a little bit of foundation. For foundation, I'm definitely gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation. This is what it is so good for, which is like full coverage, long wear, stays in place, you don't have to worry about it. It's like the perfect New Year's Eve foundation. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that just on the back of my hand. Let's start with one pump. Every year for New Year's, Will and I usually host a party at our place. We've been doing it, I think, since the year we moved in here, and I think there's only been maybe 2 or 3 where one of our other friends has hosted and we've gone over there, but it's usually here at our place. We love hosting New Year's. I really like hosting in general. Like, I love having parties and looking after people, taking care of people. Plus, it's so great to be at home and not have to go home at the end of the night, especially on New Year's Eve when it's impossible to get a taxi. The foundation went on really nicely over top of that coconut primer, by the way. Forehead is looking a little bit dry, but it's winter and the heat's on, so that's kind of the way it's gonna be, especially with this foundation. Like, if you have any dryness in your skin, this foundation will pick it up, so. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with my Becca Under Eye Corrector. I just want a really flawless complexion today, so I'm gonna take all the steps that I can to make that be so. I still am undecided about whether or not this is like a must-buy product. I do think that it was kind of irritating my eyes a little bit when I first got it, but it seems recently to not be doing that anymore, so I don't know if my eyes just got used to it, or if that was something else, or if randomly one day it's gonna start irritating my eyes again, I'm not sure. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. I'm gonna use my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I am trying to use this up. I've had it for over a year now. It's such a big bottle, it lasts so long, and the color has never been really perfect for me, but I can tell it's starting to run out, so trying to just use it up now so I can get it again in a better color. I'm gonna go clean and dampen my sponge. So here's the before and after. Will and I were kind of talking about what we're gonna do after Christmas because we've been talking about visiting Vancouver or doing a road trip out west for ages, for like a year now. But because of everything going on with COVID, the timing was never right. But we were thinking maybe after Christmas we would go out to Vancouver. We have a place in Vancouver, if you guys don't know. My family does. My mom owns a condo in Vancouver. I used to live in that condo when I lived in Vancouver, and it's a really nice little escape for us and someplace that we can stay when we're there. So we were thinking about going and taking advantage of it. I was thinking like right after Christmas we could go and kind of go there for New Year's, since I feel like there's no way we're gonna be able to have any kind of party this year. We're in lockdown until like the week of Christmas, and I don't know, I feel like it's for sure gonna get extended. Like, there's no way Christmas is gonna come around and they're gonna be like, okay, you guys can like get together with your families and have big New Year's parties. But Will, I think, is still holding on to hope that we'll be able to host something this year. Okay, I feel like my under eyes look so good and fresh right now. I'm pretty stoked. I'm gonna take a little bit of powder. I want my under eyes to be really nice and bright, so I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. I have mine in shade number 2. This is kind of the most brightening powder that I own right now. And I'm just gonna use that to set under there. And then for New Year's Eve, I always love to do a cream contour. So we're gonna go full out. We're gonna do the whole thing. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I have mine in fair medium. And let's start with the forehead. Whoa. Oh no, now that's gonna set while I try to fix this. Okay, let's try that again. It's like super sunny outside, and because it's the winter, the sun is very low in the sky, so the sun just shines directly into our apartment, which is really nice in the morning when you come out, but not so nice when you're trying to film. So I have like a sheet taped up against the window, and the sheet is very heavy and the tape does not want to stick. So I'm just buffing that contour in with a little magic complexion brush from Charlotte Tilbury. And let's do the same thing over here. I'm gonna keep this a little bit higher because I find when I blend it, it kind of goes lower. And so if I put it in the exact spot I want it, then it always ends up being too low. Let's do just the sides of my nose here too. And my jaw. Your girl needs all the help she can get with her quarantine 15. And that's too dark, for sure. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of my concealer and try and fix that up a little bit. Next, I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. So this is in shade number 2. And I'm going to bronze up my skin a little bit with this. So we're gonna start on the forehead. I've seen people complain that this bronzer isn't dark enough for like a fair toned person, even though this is number 2 and there's one even lighter than this one. I feel like maybe you're just not using the right brush and you're not picking up enough product, because like that's very bronzy. And I brought that down too far, actually. I want it to be like nice and bright, kind of in the center of my forehead here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer again, just add it to like the center of my forehead here, and then blend that out. Take my foundation brush and just kind of buff out the edges of that. And then I'm gonna go back in with this bronzer. Oh my God. This is magnetic and it got stuck to this. Oh, please don't be broken. You were so expensive and I never use you. No, okay, we're all good. I'm gonna really lightly dip into here and take a little bit of this bronzer kind of along my temple and then onto like the higher part of my cheekbone. I'm gonna put this on my neck. And then I'm gonna take my little powder and sculpt brush from Charlotte Tilbury and the contour shade from the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and I'm gonna just go ahead and carve out underneath my cheekbone a little bit, just for a little bit of extra definition, because like your girl said, she needs a little bit of help in the face thinning department at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed that we're not gonna likely be able to host a New Year's party this year, but it's just one more thing on the list of what we can't do in 2020. I've been trying not to focus on the negatives of 2020 for the past like long while in my life. I haven't always been this way, but for a while now, I've really tried to be like a glass half full kind of person. So I've been trying to look at 2020 with that perspective, and I'm gonna make a video all about like the positive things that came out of 2020, because I think it's just like so important to look at the bright side of things. All right, so I wanna do my eyebrows a little bit and then we can go ahead and finish off the eyes. So I'm just gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift pencil and I'm gonna give them a little brush and just kind of use this to really lightly fill in the gaps. Add a little bit of structure to my arch. And then I'm just gonna run a little bit of tinted brow gel through them. This is the Legendary Brows from Charlotte Tilbury. I have mine in the color Supermodel. My brows are in a good place right now. I got them threaded a few weeks ago now. Whenever they're freshly threaded, I'm always kind of like, do I like this? But then as soon as they kind of start to grow in and get like a little bit messy, but before they get super messy and like overgrown, I feel like they're perfect. And we're in that stage right now of like a little bit messy and not 100% like perfectly neat, but also like groomed. Okay, let's finish off these eyes. I'm gonna go in with the same little brush that I was using on the top to carve out my crease. I'm gonna mix those two colors together again. And I'm gonna bring this all the way from the outer corner, underneath the lower lash line, right up to the inner corner on the other side. And I'm using this brush because I want it to be pretty dang smoky under there. Always making sure to connect the lower lash line with the outer corner of my eyeshadow over here so that it's all one. All right, so I want a nice dramatic liner, so of course we're gonna go in with black. I'm gonna use this teeny weeny little Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Kohl pencil in the color Bedroom Black. And I'm gonna use this to tightline on the top and then fill in my waterline with it as well. Okay, and then we need a winged liner for New Year's Eve, of course. So I'm gonna do a pretty dramatic, kind of thicker black winged line. So this is the Maybeline gel liner in the color Blackest Black. And I'm bringing that all the way across my lid and right down into the inner corner of my eye. Okay, there we go. So we have a pretty dramatic black eyeliner, which I love. Definitely smudged it a little bit in the inner corners, but I'm gonna clean that up in a second. I'm just gonna quickly pop on a little bit of mascara. I'm just gonna use the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I have it sitting right here. If we don't end up being able to have any kind of New Year's Eve party this year, I still really wanna make it like a fun night for me and Will. Because we love hosting and because we love having parties and our friends are like our family and we love to spend that holiday with them. I feel like this is kind of the one year where we're forced to do a New Year's just the two of us, and that it would be fun just to kind of take advantage of that and just have more of like a chill, like romantic kind of evening. So even if we aren't able to do our party, I feel like it's still gonna be really fun because it'll be something different that we've never done before and that we probably won't do again, at least for a while. Okay, mascara's on. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop on these little lashes right here as well. These are the Kit lashes because I only really put lashes on to film videos these days, and like sometimes not even then. I have been struggling to put them on and getting them to stick on that inner corner. Just totally one of those things that practice makes perfect. When I was working at the Charlotte Tilbury counter and I was putting on lashes every day, I could literally do it faster than I could put on mascara. Like I could just pop them on, good to go. They stay in place all day, no problems. Okay, and that's the eyes done. Let's finish up the rest of the face. Now we need a little bit of highlighter. I think for highlighter, I'm gonna use the highlight shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette on my little highlighter brush, and we are going to glow up the skin, especially since I'm feeling a little bit drier today. I look nice and glowy. I don't know why on camera I feel like this eyeliner looks a little wonky, but it doesn't in person. I don't want to go back over it so it doesn't look like that, but I'm afraid to make it worse. Okay, and then for blush, I feel like First Love will look so pretty with this look. So this is First Love from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna keep that a little bit higher on the cheek. And then lips. So for lips, I wanna do something nude. So I'm gonna take Iconic Nude Lip Liner from Charlotte Tilbury. And then I wanna use Hepburn Honey from Charlotte Tilbury. This has a new name now, I forget what it is, but it'll be in the description box with the rest of the makeup that I used. Yeah, we're very like 90s right now, which I'm not mad about. And then I definitely wanna finish off with a little bit of gloss. So I'm gonna take Walk of Shame from Charlotte Tilbury. There's a lot of color in here. I feel like I could use it though, especially because I didn't have a lot of color in my blush. I feel like that made it even more 90s. Okay guys, so that is the finished look. I have to say I am loving it. I haven't done my makeup like this in a long time, like full glam with the dark eyeliner, the full eyeshadow, the lashes, the cream contour, the full lip. Like I feel really pretty, and I feel like myself when I do my makeup like this. Like this really feels like me. I hope you guys enjoyed this New Year's Eve makeup. I know a lot of us aren't gonna be doing our makeup like this year, but I still think it's fun to go through the motions and to do the things that we would normally be doing that bring us joy so that we can kind of get through this year with some positivity. Why should we stop doing the things that we love just because we have nowhere to go, you know? If you love putting on a full face of makeup, if getting ready brings you as much joy and is as sort of calming and meditative for you as it is for me, just do your makeup and then wash it off when you're done. You don't need anywhere to go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you go. It's gonna help more people to see it too. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm in the middle of doing Vlogmas right now, which means I'm uploading a video every single day between now and December 25th. So if you don't wanna miss out, make sure you're subscribed, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.